Good afternoon and thanks for tuning in to Kalkine TV. I'm James Preston and this is the Mid-Market Pulse, a show where we get you across the major movements of the day as we head into the afternoon. Let's start by zooming our lens on the trends emerging from the ASX. Australian shares continue to trade higher by Thursday afternoon, extending opening gains led by broad-based buying. The market sentiment also got a lift from solid cues from Wall Street, which saw the S&P 500 and Nasdaq hitting new record highs. The S&P ASX 200 was trading higher by 43.7 points, or 0.6%, crossing above its 20-day moving average. The index opened higher today after the US Federal Reserve's minutes from its latest monetary policy meeting largely supported investor expectations. According to the Fed's minutes, the officials may not be ready yet to move on tightening policy. Moving on to the sectoral front, and in a rare sight, just about all of the 11 sectoral indices were flashing in green. The materials sector was the best performer with a 1.5% gain. Among others, industrials, information tech and consumer staples were notable gainers. Among the individual stocks, tech firm Nuix rose over 8% to lead the market, while Sydney Airport gained 3% following reports that a consortium led by Macquarie Group is mulling a rival offer for the company. Looking at the sectoral charter itself, and ASX-listed energy stocks were trading mostly lower today. Barring Woodside Petroleum, all other players such as Oil Search, Origin Energy and Beach Energy were trading in the red. In the buy now, pay later space, Zipco was leading the rally, gaining more than 10% in the early trades to $8.50. Afterpay was also up by 1.6%, while EML payments rose 2.4%. On that note, let's turn our attention to the biggest gainers and losers of the mid-market session. Tech firm Nuix was the top gainer on the ASX, rising 8.23%, extending its rally for a second day, after the American private equity firm Apollo Global acquired a strategic stake in the company. Some of the other mid-market gainers were telecom firm Unity Group, A2 Milk Company, EduTech Company, IDP Education and also data company Appen. On the flip side, healthcare firm Nanosonics was the top loser of the ASX pack, falling 5.2% to $5.10 a share. Coal mining firm Whitehaven Coal, engineering firm Worley, financial services firm Virgin Money and energy firm Oil Search were among the other laggards. Time now to take a look at a few stocks that are generating buzz today. In the latest series of mergers and acquisitions activity in the finance space, investment management firm AMP has entered a pact with Macquarie Asset Management to sell AMP Capital's global equities and fixed income business for up to $185 million. The business includes fixed income, Australian listed equities, listed real estate and also listed infrastructure. Reacting to the news, shares of AMP rose over 1% to $1.13, while Macquarie Group stock was up 0.5% at $157.20 a share. The sale is part of AMP Capital's strategy to focus on high growth opportunities in private markets across real estate, infrastructure and associated agencies, and is an important step in preparing the business for its planned demerger from AMP Limited in the first half of fiscal year 2022. The Geffey business currently manages approximately $60 billion in assets under management for AMP Australia, as well as several external institutional, retail and direct clients. Software firm Laybuy Group Holdings rose 4.5% to 57.5 Australian cents after the company provided a business update for the June quarter. The company reported that its gross merchandise value grew to a record $172.5 million, while its UK GMV more than doubled on a yearly basis. The company stated that it's registered a continuation of growth across all regions, particularly in the UK, in the first quarter of this year. And now it's time for a very short break, but stay tuned as I'll be back with more trending updates, including an uptick for Sydney Airport in just a moment on Kalkine TV.
Crypto talk by Kalkine. The crypto market has been red hot given the Bitcoin rally since the past year. And now the most famous cryptocurrency has got competitors, Dogecoin and Ethereum. If the crypto market excites you, tune in with me, Sage, to know the latest developments about the existing digital currencies and the new ones that are joining the race. I'll help you understand the opportunities and the risks the crypto market has in store for you. For all the digital currency related developments, continue watching Crypto Talk by Kalkine.
Welcome back to Kalkine TV, and if you're just joining us, it's great to have your company. This is the Mid-Market Pulse, and it's time to dive into news relating to Australia's biggest airport. Shares of Sydney Airport gained nearly 3% to $7.83, amid reports that a consortium led by Macquarie Group is mulling a rival offer for the company. Last week, the country's only listed airport received an $8.25 per share takeover bid from a consortium of infrastructure investors, including IFM investors and Q Super. The board of the debt-ridden airport had said it would assess the proposal that came during a global pandemic, which deeply affected the aviation industry and the Sydney Airport security price. As per the airport's board, the offer price stood at a level below where the company's shares traded during the pre-COVID period. Flying away from the airport and into the world of tech, and shares of Tesserent climbed nearly 3% to 26.7 cents after the tech firm acquired a stake in Daltrey Ltd, a leading sovereign biometric company. The company will initially invest $600,000 for an initial stake, with a follow-on investment of a further $1.1 million upon successfully meeting key growth targets. This will give Tesserent an initial 7% shareholding, with further options to invest additional funds, which are subject to the performance of the company and future capital requirements. Shares of Netwealth gained 1.6% to $16.27 after the investment management firm provided a business update for the June quarter. The company saw its funds under administration surging to $47.1 billion in the June quarter, while net inflows rose $3.1 billion. The share price of Worley was up 0.5% at $11.31 on the announcement of securing a new contract. Red Sea National Refining and Petrochemicals Company have awarded Worley a services contract for its Greenfield Integrated Refinery and Petrochemicals Complex in Egypt. The project, which will be located in the Suez Canal Economic Zone, will convert an estimated 4 million tonnes per year of crude oil into refined products and petrochemicals. These include jet fuel, low sulphur fuel oil, polyethylene, paralexene, and also monoethylene glycol. From oil to construction, and the share price of Boral fell 0.2% to $7.39 after diversified Australian investor Seven Group splashed around $440 million to raise its stake in the building materials company to 40%. Seven Group on Tuesday raised its buyout offer for Boral to $7.40 per share, its latest bid in a near 2-month-long battle to take full control of the building materials supplier. Moving on, and Serolto has shared that it has signed a 5-year referral agreement with MasterCard Asia Pacific, a wholly owned subsidiary of MasterCard Incorporated. As per the agreement, MasterCard may introduce potential sales leads and business opportunities to Serolto, and will receive a trade facilitation fee for each successful onboarded customer. The agreement is built upon the Business Payments Aggregator Agreement with Fiserv and MasterCard, as announced by the company on the 14th of December 2020 to extend the company's business payment services offering. And now it's time for a very short break, but stay tuned as I'll be back with more trending updates right here on Kalkine TV.
Property by Kalkine. Looking for a dream home? Well, that may sound easy, but it isn't. And from looking for a property that is the right fit for you in terms of cost and other factors, to zeroing down on the right mortgage plan, there are various aspects to consider. And for the latest lowdown on the property market, tune in on Kalkine TV with me, Sage. I will give the latest updates on the property market as well as real estate stocks to help you make the right decision. Keep watching Property with Kalkine.
Welcome back to Kalkine TV. James Preston with you live from our studios in Sydney, and you're watching the Mid-Market Pulse. Let's take a look at some more companies that are in the news today. Bellevue gold shares traded 0.5% higher at $1 on hiking resource estimates. The West Australian Gold Explorer has hiked its resource estimate 25% to 3 million ounces at an average grade of 9.9 grams per tonne. Also, Alkane Resources soared over 2% to $1.23 after the Australian multi-commodity mining and exploration company surpassed Tomingley production guidance. The company announced that its Tomingley gold operations in central west New South Wales had exceeded its production guidance of 50,000 ounces to 55,000 ounces for the financial year of 2021. Buy now, pay later player Payright jumped 7% to 58 cents upon entering into a partnership with Mint Payments. The deal will integrate Mint into Payright's online payments processing system. Now let us shift our focus to global market performance. On Wednesday, global equity markets rose as investors digested the minutes of the latest US Federal Reserve meeting. The correction in the interest rate on bonds also supported global equities. In the overnight trade, Wall Street ended higher after minutes from the Fed meeting revealed that officials were divided on economic signals. The Dow Jones gained 0.3%, the S&P 500 surged 0.34%, the tech-heavy Nasdaq Composite registered a gain of 0.17%, and moving on to the Asia-Pacific region, most of the regional stocks were trading lower in the opening deals on Wednesday, barring China. Japan's Nikkei was trading 0.35% lower, while Singapore's Straits Times fell 0.2%. Seoul's Kospi dropped 0.25%, Taiwan's weighted index traded flat near a baseline. In a similar trend, Hong Kong's Hang Seng was down 0.5%, and New Zealand's benchmark S&P NZX 50 traded marginally lower. Bucking the trend though, China's Shanghai Composite rose 0.15%. Alright then, that's all for now. Stay tuned with Kalkine TV for more live market updates. Rachel Jones will be with you next for the Market Movers program. I'm James Preston for Kalkine TV.